Quick readers, small size, very cool, collectible vintage paperbacks. Hi, I'm Gary Lavisi, and today we're going to take a look at the quick readers. Quick readers were a small little pocketbook size book, 2 inches by 3 inches, staple bound, about 128 pages, and they were all abridged. There were 49 books in the series, numbered 101 to 149, so there's 49 in the series, and we're going to take a look at all 49 of them today. Quick Readers was published by Royce Publications. Interesting thing about them is Royce Publications originally was a Toronto, Canadian publishing company, and then it seems that at some point in 1939, 40, 41, somewhere around there during World War II, they moved to Chicago, Illinois. So there are some Canadian quick readers which you should know about and be aware of. The interesting thing about these books is, well, here's 2 of them. They look just like the American ones. The difference is basically that on the inside they have the prices. Quick readers have no prices except for the Canadian. This one has 15 cents, and it says Toronto, Canada, where it's published. And on this one, it has 10 cents, so it might be an earlier one. Also Toronto, Canada. There's slight variations sometimes with the in the back covers with the books that they list in the series. But so these are the Canadian. Just to be aware of them. There's quite a few of them, but nobody knows how many. There's no complete set of Canadian quick readers that has ever been completed. These are separate from the American ones. So that should be something you should be aware of. 2 cover artists did the artwork. Axelrod and Circle did excellent artwork. There's a lot of anthologies in the quick readers, which are basically first editions thus. They used stories by Poe and every author that you could think of, crime stories, suspense, and humor. A lot of humorous anecdotes and stories in these books. All of the books, again, are abridged. Some of them are abridged quite a bit. The American editions, some of the later ones on the higher numbers, are dated 1944 and 1945, but most of the books are not dated, even though they came out at that time. So I would say, like, the Canadian quick readers probably from around 1939, 1940, maybe, something like that. The American quick readers probably from 1941 or 42 up till 1945. Again, there's 49 books in the series, and the Canadian sold for 10 cents or 15 cents. The American editions had no prices on them. With that, I'm going to just give you a little, read a little synopsis in here about the message of the publisher to the reader, or the prospective quick reader. Because the thing is, with these books, they were abridged. They were abridged to make them easily readable. They're small books. They fit in your pocket or a purse or whatever. And this is they wanted to keep all the good parts in and take out all the extraneous matter that's not really necessary, and leave in all the good parts. And they even say sometimes we've painstakingly gone through these books to abridge them, to leave you only the good parts, leave you only the good stuff. So that's the thing about with quick readers. Also, while they were published during the time of World War II, they were not armed service editions in that respect. But these were books sold out to the public. But on some of the books in the back covers, it does mention that you should send this book after you've read it to a serviceman in uniform or that servicemen fighting in Europe were looking for good books to read, and that these were perfect for them, which really actually they were, because they're small and they're very cool. So with that, and we're going to look at the books in a minute here, all 49. They're in this case, so that's pretty cool. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute. And we'll get to it in a second. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And I just want to give you an idea. First of all, just that basically the same format, and I'm going to read this about quick readers, which is pretty interesting. The title page here. This is an American quick reader from 1945. But they all have drawing, black and white illustrations in them that are actually pretty nice. This is again Gulliver's Travels. His journey among the Lilliputians. This is a really cool series to collect. Really nice. They're small. A lot of times I think they get neglected because of the format amongst vintage paperback collectors. They like them in the paperback format. The back covers are all the same, basically similar, with information about the book. They all have a number, and they're all numbered, with one exception, which I'm going to show you, a variant. There may be some variants on these books. In the back cover, inside back cover, lists the books that are available from Royce Publishers from Chicago. Sometimes certain books, maybe list how many titles, maybe list 15 titles. Other ads will list 12 or whatever, a different amount of titles. So there's some variance in the printing of the back covers on some of these, so you should be aware of that. The other thing, I just want to read to you what they say here, what Royce Publishers say about quick readers. Many thousands of us want to read the finest in fiction or nonfiction, but unfortunately, we cannot spare the time. The quick reader has been designed to fulfill just such a crying need, to bring you the best in reading pleasure, and to present it to you in the modern manner. This quick reader has been carefully, cautiously, critically edited, so that all the beauty of the story, the feeling, the plot, the characters remain intact. Only the excess material has been cut away. The result? You now have a complete story considerably speeded up to enhance its interest for your reading pleasure. They cut out all the extraneous stuff and they left you the good stuff. Okay, well, so let's take a look at quick readers now. We're going to go from, look at them from the first one, number 101, in order, and just give you an idea of the cover art. De Maupassant, this is number 101. Number 102, The Killer by Stuart Edward White. Some of the covers are just terrific. 103, Nana by Emile Zola. Cover art is pretty striking. Axelrod and Circle are the two artists that did, I think, all of the cover art on these books. Many of the covers are signed, and they're really cool. Some of the covers are just terrific. I mean, this one here, number 104, is Chillers. Great cover, just terrific. It has stories by Dorothy Sayers, W.W. Jacobs, and Arthur Conan Doyle. I don't know if it's a Sherlock Holmes story or not. Number 105 is Laugh Your Head Off. It's another anthology. Both of these are anthologies. They're basically first editions thus. This is humor. They did a lot of humor books, jokes, satire, comedy, things, lighthearted kind of things. Next one is 106, Great Short Stories. This has Somerset Maugham and many other authors. 107 is Ben Heck's The Florentine Dagger, riveting crime novel, really excellent cover art. And it's of course it says abridged and illustrated. All the books are illustrated with black and white illustrations, and they're all abridged again. So now we come to an interesting one. 108. 108 is Webster's Dictionary. I'm going to put these three here. And we have variants. 108 appears to be the same book. On the back it has the number 108, but this one has no number printed. This one has no number printed either. So what you've got is like I guess the original or the standard one, and then you have two variants. The one variant here just has no number. The other variant has no number, and if you notice this, special edition for servicemen. It's a armed service dictionary for men in the military, and there's no other military-oriented quick reader or anyone with this kind of any other book other than the dictionary with this on it. So there's three different versions, at least. There may be even more. Like again I say, because the back covers have sometimes feature ads and things. This one doesn't. But just to be aware, these three, it's interesting. So 108 is a dictionary, and there's three versions of that. 109 is one of the classic quick readers with classic, great Oriental Menace cover art, Yellow Peril cover art, World War II. I mean, this is Bushido by Alexander Pernikov, a Japanese soldier threatening a white woman, basically. Again, the novel is abridged. It's a story, Japanese warfare in the Pacific, and this is actually, it's interesting because this was published at the time when this kind of stuff was going on. Japanese were fighting the British and the Australians and the French and the Americans in the Pacific, and they had prison camps, and they had there's a lot of cases where American and Australian nurses were kept captive. So there's interesting stuff with this. This is actually when it takes place when it was going on. The next one's a classic, Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. That was 110. Number 111 is Here's Reading You'll Enjoy, another anthology, and it's got classic authors, Rupert Hughes, W.W. Jacobs, Edgar Allan Poe. And on this one, you can see on the back cover, I mean, it's taped, but you see you need no request to send this book overseas. And it's just basically telling you that you can send this to our servicemen who would appreciate a book like this to help them kind of while away the time while they're fighting. So this, while they're not armed service editions officially, they were letting people know that that you could send them to the troops in the military. Number 112 is another humor book, more fun than looking through a keyhole. And here's the guy looking through a keyhole. Don't know what he sees, but he's liking it. And here's the authors that are in the book. So we've gone through a quarter of them so far. Next one is 113, really cool cover, really great suspense. Murder on Shark Island by Jack DeWitt. Murder on Ship and Island, seaside mystery, again, abridged, illustrated. They were not shy about saying that the books were abridged. In fact, that was a selling point, that you don't have to read the whole book. Waste your time with the extraneous parts. You're just getting the good stuff and getting the main part of the story, and you don't need all that extra reading matter because you're busy, and it's the modern days. In the 1940s, things were going on. There was a war, and we just want to read the good parts. So they always mentioned books were abridged, and they mentioned they were illustrated. Number 114, Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. Number 115, interesting, nonfiction, how to safeguard your income, your children, and your property, by Nathaniel Fishman. Interesting, just reference book about finances for people in the 40s. Number 116, Try This for Size. More sexy humor, I like the leg art. It's gams, as they were called in the old days, a girl with great gams. And it's 40 funny cartoons, and then also some stories and little things, Dorothy Parker and other people. So it's a cute, cool kind of satire. Number 117, Ben Hecht again, Count Brugge. Number 118, How to Tell Your Friends from the Apes by Will Cuppy. Will Cuppy was a popular author at this time. He's kind of somebody who's been forgotten these days. And this one has a kind of Edgar Rice Burroughs Tarzan tie-in a little bit, because it's kind of got a little bit of Tarzan Burroughs maybe inspiration or style or taste to it. Number 119, classic book, great cover art, A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Beautiful. Number 120, really cool, first edition thus, Time Out for Murder, with stories by Ellery Queen, Dorothy Sayers, R. Austin Freeman, and Ben Ames Williams. Sometimes it's hard to read upside down, so but this is a very cool book, very noir cover, femme fatale, and good stories. Keeping in that vein, number 121 is The Curve of the Gate of the Curve of the Gate Canary. What is that? I don't even understand what that word is. You know what that word is?
Cantonary.
Cantonary. I never saw that word before. Mary Roberts Reinhardt, The Curve of the Cantonary. I don't know. Mystery thriller, great cover art. Thank you for your assistance. Number 122, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Number 123, True Murders Not Quite Solved by Alvin Harlow. So this is true crime. it's a tough copy to get in nice shape. I'm surprised that this one's as worn as it is, but it's a really very nice one. There's a cover by Axelrod, number 124. 15 short surprise stories. Great good girl art cover by Axelrod. Mystery romance, intrigue, adventure. Really nice group of stories in that, and really nice cover art. So I'm going to move these over here for now, and we're going to start on the next grouping. Because we have 49 books in the series, and we're going to show you the covers of every single one of them. Number 125, Strictly on the Funny Side. And here we have more comedy, different 4 stories by different authors. Axelrod cover, sexy girl, a kind of a lighthearted satire, kind of books. The thing about quick readers also, which I want to mention, is the spine. You have the quick reader spine on all the books that have the same design, and they even show you the pages here on the bottom. So you see, and that's continued on the back cover. So you had that certain style design of a book, that they made, which is really kind of cool and was kind of innovative for its day. Number 126 is Love is a Funny Business. Another anthology of 4 stories, first edition thus, of lighthearted romance by different authors. James Thurber's in here, E.B. White. So there's, and it's just a cool, cute cover. Number 127, Celebrated Stories Made into Movies. And you have Damon Runyon and other, Vincent Starrett, other authors in that series. Number 128 is Cat and Mouse by Hugh Pentecost, crime thriller. Number 129 is The Way of All Flesh by Samuel Butler. Number 130 is Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. One of the, I would say, top 3 tough books in the series to get in nice shape. I would say this is the 3rd top book to get in nice shape. There's 2 that are even more pretty rare. This is scarce to pretty rare in nice shape. The next book in the list that we're going to look at is probably the top one. That's as far as rare and scarcity. Number 131, Earl Dare Biggers, The 7 Keys to Baldpate. That's a Charlie Chan mystery. This book is probably rare in nice condition. It's hardly ever seen. A lot of quick reader collectors out there looking for it, and it just seems to never show up. So this is, again, they all have the same general design in the back cover, but that's the tough one. So that's the number 1 tough one. That's the number 3 probably tough one, I would say. And I'll show you number 2 in a little bit. The next book is number 132, I'll Be Glad When You're Dead, Dana Lyon. Powerful, electrifying, frightening, another crime, noir thriller. Number 133 is lighthearted romance, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes by Anita Loos. This was a kind of a cute, sexy romance novel, and I assumed that Quick Reader cut out all the extraneous parts and left in all the good, cute, sexy, risque parts of the book. Number 134 is Mr. Pinkerton, Passage for One by David Frome, another crime novel, murder mystery. Number 135 is Humorous Ghost Stories with Richard Sale, W. Jacobs, John Kendrick Bangs, Garlett Burgess, Frank Stockton. Humorous Ghost Stories, 5-story, first edition thus, anthology of humorous ghost stories with the scared woman on the cover, but not too scared. Number 136, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. And number 137, Bedside Bedlam, another anthology. Robert Benchley, Dorothy Parker, Will Rogers, four stories. Number 138, Mademoiselle de Maupin by Théophile Gautier, story of a French girl who masqueraded as a man. So there we have most of the quick readers. Now we're going to do the last part. That was number 37, and this is number 138. Okay, let's get in shape. Number 139 is One Side Please, another humorous collection of stories by various authors. Stephen Longstreet has a story in here. They did a lot of, and there's a leg art cover, so it's a good girl art kind of cover. They did a lot of humorous stories in the Quick Reader series. It seems to be mostly mystery crime stories and humor. Number 140 this is a tough one. The Best of Edgar Allan Poe by Edgar Allan Poe, and great cover art, really just delightfully gruesome, really nice. Number 141 is the Bible. Interesting that they had the Bible in this series, but it's a key book, and they didn't have to pay royalties. Number 142 is another classic by Robert Louis Stevenson, horror, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Really nice cover art on that, and the Poe, boy, that's nice horror. Number 143 is Great Comedies Made into Movies, 4 smash hit comedies. And there's the 4, Little Miss Marker and other books, other movies that were made into movies, books that were made into movies. Famous Little Miss Marker was Shirley Temple book, a movie. Number 144 is Unforgettable French Love Stories. Let me just see who's in here. Balzac, de Maupassant, Eugene Vidocq, Théophile Gautier. There's 5 stories in here, and they're unforgettable French love stories. Number 145, Hugh Pentecost comes back, and he gives us Dead Man's Tale, another crime murder mystery. Really stunning cover art. Really, the covers were pretty well done. I mean, they really kind of impact, especially the non-humorous ones. The humorous ones are kind of nice and cute, sexy and fun, and that's a separate on that side. But then the mystery, crime, and horror really pretty cool. Number 146 is has a little story behind it. It's not listed in the price guides. So for a long time it was thought not to exist. Number 146 is Proceed at Your Own Risk. And it's a, a book of anecdotes, jokes, rhymes, goofy gags, as it says on the bottom here. All different kind of satire and humor. But again, this is a book that was not listed in some of the price guides. Number 146 was left blank. And for a long time, people didn't think it existed, and somebody would say, "I have a copy of number 146," and really, and eventually, it is probably the second toughest book to find in the quick reader group. So I would say probably Seven Keys to Baldpate is rare. That's number one. Number two, Proceed at Your Own Risk is extremely scarce. Number three is the Treasure Island, which is very scarce. And probably number four in that would be the Poe that I showed you a minute ago. So that's Proceed at Your Own Risk. Now we have number 147, One Foot in Heaven by Hartstill Spence. I think that this is a humorous novel. Number 148. It's interesting because I think it's the only Western. Blind Trail at Sunrise by W.C. Tuttle. So I think that's the only Western that's in the series, which is interesting because Westerns at this time especially were very, very popular. And paperback publishers were publishing Westerns by the ton. And that's the only one in the series. And number 149, the last book in the series, is Camille by Alexander Dumas. And it's interesting that the Quick Reader series started with number 101. So the book number one in the series is number 101, and it went to number 149. 49 books in the series. They didn't start at number one. And elsewhere in some of the one of these videos, I mentioned the fact that publishers often did that because they wanted to let people and distributors know that, well, if this is book number 125 or 130 or 101, it's a long-running series, it's got staying power, and people would look at that and say, oh, they've been around for a while, and it's worth it for me to buy this book and buy these books and collect them and stuff. Or for a distributor to say, well, they got a good track record. They publish over 100 books. So when 101 came out, people say, hey, we want you to distribute our quick readers. You could start with number 101. And the guy would say, okay, 101, wow, they got over 100 books out. Maybe they would think that, unless they asked, and they said, "Oh, that's number one," but nobody would know that. So it's just a cool thing about these books. These books are small, they're cute, they're sexy. They have great cover art, great stories by great writers. Everything's abridged, unfortunately, which a lot of people don't like. But the thing is, they're small. You see how they fit into that little cabinet. 49 books fit into that cabinet. They're small. They fit into your pocket, and they're just really cool to collect. They're beautiful books. They're really well done. They had the format is really something that I really like, with the spine of the book showing on the front and the pages to make it look like kind of a bigger book than it is. And it's just the quick readers are really cool, and when you come across them, pick up a few and you'll enjoy them. The thing is, what I wanted to do with this video was to show you all of them. So this is all 49 of them. So I know a lot of people probably have 2 or 3, maybe a favorite. I always collected Bushido and a couple of the other more, the Edgar Allan Poe and some of those that are more horror-oriented ones. But all of them are really nice. I mean, even the romance and the and the humor ones are really cool. They have great cover art and fun stories. They're just fun books, and they don't take up a lot of room. So just wanted to let you know about that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for taking a look. Please give us a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe. And if you want to see more material like this, there's other videos that we have on my YouTube channel. This is, I think it's probably number 30, 38 or 39 or whatever. We're up there with the numbers. So it's, just take a look at the other videos and enjoy them. And let us know if there's anything that you'd like to see. And I'm Gary Lovisi again, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.